Okay, so can you please state your name and your job title?
Catherine DeDecker. I work for Spalding DeDecker. I'm Vice President and Business Development Manager and Marketing Manager.
Okay. And can you explain what your job title means?
Well, the other thing I do is I'm a land surveyor as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about what that part of it means because that's a little bit more interesting. So a land surveyor is responsible for determining property location. So if someone owns a house on a lot, it's determining the outline of where that property starts and ends.
Okay, thank you. And um, what does your job entail? What does your job specifically, like, what do you do?
Well, what do I do? So um, besides the survey part of things,
Mm.
I'm a business development manager and marketing manager. So I'm in charge of the marketing team and I'm in charge of the company business development. So what that means is we help all of our people in our company bring in business, write proposals. We keep our website up to date. We do um, any collateral or um, marketing material that goes out, our team reviews it and makes sure it's up to date and looks good.
Okay. And um, can you discuss the paths you took to reach this position?
Sure, it was not a straight path at all.
Yeah.
So to become a land surveyor, I'll talk about that because that you could go on a straight pathway if you wanted to. First of all, if you want to be a land surveyor, you need to like math and science.
Mhm.
It's also good if you like to be outside. So if you like to hike, if you like to play sports outside, if you like to do anything outside, that's a good indication that you might be great at being a land surveyor. So in high school, I would suggest taking the science and math classes. And then you can go a couple of different directions from there. If you don't enjoy school, but you like math and science, you could be hired in as a field technician and learn on the job how to be a land surveyor and how to work on a survey crew. If you really enjoy the sciences and the math and you want to do an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, then you can go another route. So you could go and get an associate degree in land surveying. If you want to go all the way and be a project manager and be a professional surveyor, then you would go and do a 4-year degree at a university. So Michigan has 2 universities in the state that offer surveying, and those would be Bachelors of Science in Land Surveying or a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and Surveying. And then from there, if you want to be a professional surveyor, you get your degree, you take a standard national test, and then you get 4 years of experience at a firm, and then you take a state test, and then you get licensed at the state level.
Hmm. Okay. And what um what like specific math or science classes would you recommend if a student is interested in land surveying?
I would recommend at least algebra trig for math and then physics for science.
Mhm.
You don't necessarily use the physics, but physics is a good way to show you processes of how you start somewhere and finish somewhere. And then the math, you definitely use a lot of the math. Um, at least the surveying is all about triangles.
Right.
So learn as much as you can about how to solve triangles.
What Describe what you love best about working in this field.
What I like best working in surveying is you get to see a blank slate. So you might see a field
Mhm.
of just grass, tall grass, and there's nothing there. And you go out and do the mapping of the site. The engineer takes your map and designs the site, and the architect designs the buildings. And then when that's done, you get to see the progress of where the land started as a blank slate to where it's finished. Like if you were building a school, you get to see the school being built. You get to see the whole construction process of where you started and what it ends up to be and how that impacts the students in that area maybe.
So land surveyors are kind of like the people who get everything started almost.
Correct. The land surveyors have to be out there first to draw the map before anybody else can do anything with it.
What does a typical day of work look like for you?
Well, let me tell you a couple different things. So if you're in the field, that's totally different than if you're in the office. So if you're in the field, a typical day would be you come in, you grab your equipment, you grab your truck, you talk to the project manager on what your tasks are going to be for the day, and then you drive out to the field and maybe you're drawing a map or maybe you're doing construction layout, telling the contractor where to put their improvements. And then that's a typical day for the field. Inside, there's a couple different routes, like I said. If you wanted to be a CAD person, you're taking the information from the field surveyors and you're drawing that map. If you're the project manager, then you are managing the field staff, the CAD staff, the project surveyors, and you're also reviewing everything to make sure that everything was drawn correctly or everything is represented correctly before it goes on to the engineer.
Um, uh, why should other females consider working in this field?
I would say if you like math, you like science, you like being outside, it's an ideal job. It's a lot of fun. Every day is a little bit different. Um, you definitely have to like being outside if you're doing the field side of things. If you like math and like to analyze things, it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Um, what advice would you give to females who may be thinking about a career path that is male dominated?
That's a good question. There's a lot of um, there's probably a lot of things I would say, but the biggest thing is yes, it's male dominated, but if you enjoy it, stick with it, have fun with it, and just show everybody that you can do what you do best.
Right. Has there been a project that you worked on that like is your favorite? Like,
Let's see, probably yes. So when I was doing the surveying, like now I do the marketing and BD. So when I was doing the surveying projects, um, Campus Martius, downtown Detroit, was just a blank slate, blank lot. I think they call it one Campus Martius now. We saw that building from a blank lot all the way up to however many floors it is. So you could see the progress of it. You could see it being built. You could see how our people were impacting that project and making sure it was built correctly. So I think that's probably my favorite.
thank you so much.
All right.